Today I'm going to be providing a quick demonstration on how to rebuild a Genius Tools 72 tooth fine tooth ratchet. Now this process will be the same regardless of the drive size, 1/4 inch through 1 inch drive, and it also will be the same regardless of whether or not it's a flex head ratchet, a fixed head ratchet, or our roto ratchet. Like I said, this applies for all of our ratchets, 1/4 inch through 1 inch drive, 72 teeth, same process. Now of course the parts will be different in relation to the drive size, but the process itself will be the same. The first thing you're going to do is remove this rear cover plate on the back of the ratchet. There's the rear cover plate. You've noticed on the rear cover plate there's this, an extrusion right there, which I'll show you about later. And this will fall at the bottom. We've got a heart-shaped spring, the gear piece, and then the anvil or the drive piece. And those will all be getting replaced. And an important thing you want to take a look at too before you start to rebuild is you're going to take a look at these inner teeth and the housing of the ratchet head and make sure that they're all intact and in good shape, which they are. And we also recommend that you give it a quick clean down before you rebuild, just to get out any debris or anything else in there out of there before you put the new parts in there. For these ratchets, there's always going to be 3 parts required for the rebuild. The first of which is the rear cover plate and screw that I just showed you. The second part is going to be the male anvil piece with a ball end. And the third part is the gear and that heart-shaped spring. And before you start to assemble, it's always a good idea to put some grease, just a little bit, in the inner housing right there, everything lubricated. What you do is you always want to hold the ratchet face with the odd numbers facing up towards you, and you'll come up through the bottom. Like such. Then you'll take that gear piece, and when you enter, you want to make sure that the larger hole is facing up. If you look on there, there's a larger hole on one end and a smaller hole on the other. The larger hole facing up, with the gear piece facing outwards towards the gear on the housing of the ratchet head itself. Goes in there like so. Then you'll come in with that heart-shaped spring, and you're going to want to enter that spring into the larger hole on that gear piece that I just showed you. So you enter it in there just like that. And at this point you're going to throw some more grease in there. And you'll take this rear cover plate. Like I told you earlier, there's a small extrusion on the inside of that cover, and that extrusion needs to be lined up in between the opening of that heart-shaped spring piece and the anvil. So you want to slide it in there, right in between there. Give a little push to get it seated, just like that. Give it a turn, make sure it's seated, which it is. And then from there you're going to come back and attach that rear cover plate with the screw that's provided. Snugged up, just like that. Do a quick wipe down. And then you want to test in both directions to make sure it's operating properly. which it is. And the rebuild is complete.